Hey guys, it's Mallory here. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Mallory. I have two under two, so now I have a 22-month-old, almost 23 months, almost two, and a 9-month-old. So I have done baby-led weaning with two babies now, and just wanted to share my baby-led weaning tips for beginners if you're starting out, or if you're just looking for something new, or if you're looking for just some fresh inspiration. So definitely stick around. I'm just in my bedroom filming. My mom is watching Asher right now, so I have a little bit of time to chat. I want to share a couple really great resources that I use, and then just any kind of like tips or tricks that I have. So when it comes to baby-led weaning, the whole idea is feeding your babies solid foods that you actually eat, so like real food, rather than using the typical store-bought little baby food jars or packets, which are totally fine. And if that's what works for you, then that's great. Or if you want to do some kind of combination of like spoon feeding and baby-led weaning, you can do that as well. But for me personally, I had heard of that. I heard that it helps prevent picky eating in toddlers. I heard that it helps kids want to try like different textures, different foods, just get a feel for it. And I have found all of that to be true. So Asher is a great eater. River's already doing great. As a 9-month-old, she's eating tons of solid food. There is a little bit of constipation going on with her, so that's like a whole separate thing, but never had that problem with Asher, and I don't think it has to do with baby-led weaning. But I am giving her some foods that are supposed to help with that through baby-led weaning. So when I start out with a baby and I'm giving them their first food, I really listened to the Baby-Led Weaning Made Easy podcast. I believe that's what it's called. And her website is blwpodcast.com. So she has a great podcast. She has a website with tons of notes. She does a free workshop where she gives you a list of 100 foods to try within the first year. So it's very helpful to check her out. She has resources and tips, and talks about like all sorts of different kinds of food, like when you're feeding your baby meat and all of that. So I started out listening to her, and I followed her tips and advice as far as when to start a baby on baby-led weaning, which she has, I think it's like 5 criteria points. And I'm not gonna, take over her content and make it my own, like telling you everything, but basically River didn't start until later than Asher because she wasn't sitting up on her own yet. So basically it's good for them to be able to sit up as far as like choking safety and everything, and then be over 6 months old and a couple other things. So that's important for when you're starting. And then when you start, you basically start with like one new food, one meal a day, and then build up from there. So that's what we've been doing with River. I highly recommend taking her workshop because, like I said, you get a list of 100 first foods to try in the first year, and you can just download that super easy. I downloaded one for Asher, download one for River now, and I cross it off as I do it. So I like doing that kind of thing and knowing like, okay, these are, if I need to get back on track, like these are the foods she hasn't had yet. I still need to be doing like one new food a day or whatever. And she talks about allergenic foods, so you can feel better about that. She talks about doing like one new food a day. You don't have to wait a few days in between. So I basically follow her plan, but I'm not like super strict on it, because she does help even say like, okay, have a new protein this day, a new veggie this day, and so on and so forth. So if you want a very specific laid out plan for you, that's one option. I know people also do the Solid Starts program. I think you like pay for that class or something, I'm not exactly sure, but I do use Solid Starts when I am prepping a new food for River, or I'm trying to remember how I'm supposed to cut a certain vegetable or cook a certain thing or whatever. Because if you just go on their website, which I guess they also have an app, but I always just Google BLW carrots, BLW like baby-led weaning, whatever kind of food I'm feeding her, and it gives you different videos, different pictures, tons of paragraphs of any kind of information you want to know about that food for baby-led weaning. And so it tells you for 6 to 9 months, this is how you should cut it. For 9 to 12 months, this is how you should cut it. Or you shouldn't be feeding your baby very much of this, like shrimp or whatever. So yes, those are the two main resources I use. The Baby-Led Weaning Made Easy podcast and resources, and then the Solid Starts website or app. And all of that was free to me. So I didn't end up paying anything for baby-led weaning other than a course for choking and CPR. So I have not had to use that for either of my babies, but I do know some people who have. One of my good friends has had to do the Heimlich maneuver for her baby. It's a different kind of technique, so you can't just do the like pushing on people, pushing on their tummy or chest or whatever like you would an adult. So definitely check out a course. That just gave me peace of mind that I would know how to do it. I did a refresher when I had River, and I only had to pay with Asher, and then I was able to I think I keep that for life or something, or like several years. So I was able to just go back and watch the videos again. So I'll leave all of these links down below so you can check it out. I hope that that is helpful for you. As far as what foods we actually use, again, we really follow that podcast and the 100 foods list, but I started off just giving one new food a day, and then I'd start kind of like, okay, she already had avocado, so I can give her some more avocado. And with River, I progressed really quickly because she didn't start eating until she was like 7 or 8 months. And now she's 9 months, and I already feed her 3 meals a day, which the meals aren't big. I don't do like a protein, a starch, a veggie every meal. Like for breakfast this morning, she had berries, prunes because the constipation thing, and some scrambled eggs. So I just kind of go with what we're eating. That's another positive thing with baby-led weaning, is the whole idea is getting them to start eating whatever you're eating. So last night we made like fajita chicken bowls, and I gave River some of the chicken, I gave River some of the rice, I gave her some of the grilled veggies, and whether she actually eats it all or throws it on the ground for the dog or chews on it or whatever, that's the whole idea, is they're trying different textures, they're trying different foods, they're getting some of it into their system, and you're just trying to facilitate that. And River is so different than Asher, where even when I would try like spoon-fed stuff, like giving her something on the spoon, she doesn't want me to just put it in her mouth most of the time. She wants to grab the spoon, which is good. Like the whole point with baby-led weaning is doing that, where you place a pre-loaded spoon in front of them, and then they actually like do grab the spoon. And it's just teaching them all of these important tasks, important skills that they'll need as they get older. So I think it's really, really great. Something I wish I did better was teaching my babies how to use cups. Neither of my babies were bottle babies. I nursed them exclusively, so they like never used a bottle. They wouldn't take a bottle, which is why. Otherwise I would have loved to give them a bottle of my pumped milk, but I had my pumped milk had like the weird flavor because it had whatever that thing is called. I should look it up, but basically they would not take my milk after it had been frozen or even refrigerated. So since they never had the technique of like holding a bottle, then it was harder to teach them cups. It was harder to teach them sippy cups and all of that. So Asher mostly would, and still just like drinks out of a straw. So I tried to avoid that with River, and I try to cup feed her water. And they say that your babies don't need water until after they're a year old, but I feel like for hydration that can help with constipation, because Asher was drinking tons of water when he was probably starting around like 8 to 12 months. And then River, I just started kind of giving her more water, and she's 9 months and she still doesn't drink very much, and she's having the constipation. So it's really important to stay hydrated. So I don't know, you can ask your doctor about that. But yeah, I feel like that's basically all I wanted to say. I just wanted to give a couple resources, talk through what I did. Hopefully that's helpful. If you have specific questions, I'm more than happy to do another video. I think I'll do a video actually showing like what we eat in a day, so you can follow along for that. So definitely subscribe. Or if you just have a question you want to put in the comments, I respond to all my comments. So you can check it out and I'll try to remember to link everything down below. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.